Port Moresby, the capital city of Papua New Guinea, is characterised by poor and crowded living conditions, a growing population with high urban migration, increasing cultural diversity and ethnic tensions. The large natural resource extraction projects have generated a solid GDP growth over the last decade. However, economic growth has not translated into the development of the country or its people. Violence against women is a pervasive phenomenon in Papua New Guinea, with a wide range of manifestations occurring in the home and different public spaces, especially the public markets. Over 80% of vendors in the public markets are women, who spend most of their time selling their goods to meet their basic needs. Violence against women and girls has reached epidemic proportions, and despite the huge amount of prevention that's gone into the issue, the numbers have increased, and the question is, why?
Our market should be a good place to market. And such things like sexual harassment or violence against women or people fighting young boys against other young boys, it should not happen in here. We do not like it to see.
Women are not safe, I'd say. They're not safe. The ladies are sitting in the market and selling. There's drunkards who come in and, they just come in and they just get whatever they're selling and they walk off.
Some places that kayak some market or one or stockman or some pickpockets na about come up or one or some ghost fight na melo or one na some disturbs that come up from the plan.
Possible young plamangi na batol spa kamor ba puli mol something natin bian or kam puli mol bag lum flow or baka moli passing event or baka moli passing mol merit.
Mi pagara plenty youths mo staff unemployed all the work around natin. Sampai staff natin olu kimo sa nogal benau ole salimol mama staff olu kimo se meri lo place kam market dili ko olu kimo sem e market no ke plenty money oli pasito ko pulim bilum blem no side once am go solo market o pulim bilum blem.
Yes, min bo za ku bisa oli mol ma papa number now meri pi oli mol na si mari bo na bo ba taye na bo o ba bia drink e bit ni live in it so we understand it.
We have a lot of youths here. Most of the youths, they just come and hang around in the market. I'd say marijuana is a problem here.
We only want that this smoking, I do not know how we're going to stop it. The drinking, yes, we see boys walking around with beer, bottle, men, not only boys, men and boys. So help us in what ways that we can talk to these boys. We must not abuse them, because when we abuse them, we make things worse. But we talk to them in a manner where they can understand.
Life don't go out. Some people want the house and silly and pick them talk.
Due to fewer employment opportunities for the youth, there is more pressure to engage in crime and violence.
So this is little market street blooming where it is not nothing or so caution.
I'm on number of months to online no market yet, only two. Let's come sit down, the market go. Okay, was ook like this now. Let's work. Let's try. Make violence up. The people you two are going to up again. Make violence again. People are also working.
Masking every day now on this. Still now to able. Middle talk stable to fight love. Fights are come up. Program market sit down. We are not wasting money again. Especially ethnic groups fight come up and what's like.
Papua New Guinea has more than 800 languages and over 2,000 ethnic groups. Although increased exposure to globalization has changed the lifestyles of many, tribal affiliation is one of the most important aspects of Papua New Guinean culture. As such, perpetrators of all forms of violence and crime, despite their wrongdoings, will be supported by their family and tribes. Due to this, tribal affiliations are one of the primary causes of violence in the markets.
So, time all fight na all passing market. Mi plaza sa faster. Because me all get time mi plaza losing place na. Come staplo city. Money talk na imi all get sa staplo ya.
In a country where 85% of employment consists of subsistence agriculture, markets provide a vital opportunity for women to enter the informal economy and an avenue of progress for the citizens of Port Moresby.
Market is like a gold mine for us. In the city, there's no other way of us making money and living in the city.
Market em good plan life blow so me so market em good plan life blow me that me market me so se mixing na me strong na me staff.
We started shopping space for figure a profit for sometimes mouse kage na mo kage.
Tem buy come up na market blow me plus a distro me blow to surround where this like sometimes me plus a lucy market me plus a go.
Why only China, na white man, na all India, na Filipino, na half la province, na all white man, only no come to the market. Why now?
Even all big line, all educated line, all business line, all white line, like come by kage blow me blow, but anda bigat road block is stop, pickpocket is stop. This last all porat lokam na all go lo food well shopping shop, or go lo all big plus supermarkets.
Nowadays, some plenty line, you must come back to some go put a complaint, low one was no police in some camera for one was. So what we think was we looking was a heavy the market go was some heavy go big line. The only way we making way blow me go house, we can stop safe house.
Oh, Narla Mane, one blank will been cutting the Boris Magan last with the solo 102. All come the witness, me Trumandablo, all in blood law, Trumandablo car because Islam passing in a good plan. Suppose security inside guarantee all got the 1 billion less Islam passing into the Islam Boris Magan. Now go come stop. Embanox in Platos again. Police snaps every day. All come around us or check or go. And after 5-6 hours, I'll come back again, which is safety measures.
We just don't have the number, police number, to be present at all those major locations, major market and public places.
There's a lot of instances of sexual violence that are committed around the edges of the markets, especially in the toilet areas and also at the marketplaces. It's happening, but a lot of people do not report what's happening.
All police tools separate them all, so all not say action him. So why by me go wasting time?
We just go to police so we just go to police by help police too help me plan so help me plan go come back pulling care.
The situation of violence is severe both in public spaces and in the markets of Port Moresby. There is absolutely no freedom of movement, especially for women.
Now sa Canberra bimigla, o sa puli mo kage bimigla, na o sa make mo sa bimigla, o making ko non flow ino na blow story ni. Emo man, ni ta marry.
Women are the main recipients of violence, and that is borne out in the numerous studies that have been done by the United Nations and by the government of Papua New Guinea and by other stakeholders, donors and NGOs.
Anytime someone could just walk up to you and then just touch you or, say some nasty thing at you or just snatch your bag.
The violence against women, as I said, goes from the rural areas where domestic violence in the home is perpetrated. And the studies do show that Papua New Guinea has one of the highest levels of violence in the world against women. One sees it in the streets, one sees it around the marketplaces where women are beaten. And people stand by and say, oh, something belong all, it's a domestic problem, you can't interfere.
Lo side lo man, yes, me being fight want a man lo me. Na lo experience lo side lo me lo si coins na mo them no god. A girl was just assaulted by a group of men from islands at the bus stop at Tokarara. She was just walking and then there was this guy who came and just held her and said, she's my wife. And then everyone came and they started holding her and she was screaming and it was so scary.
Holding her?
Like touching her all over and then she was really...
A group of men?
Yeah.
As extraordinary as it might seem, rape is a regular occurrence in marketplaces in Port Moresby and in other markets around the country.
A woman from my village, a mother of 2 children, was raped in the market. Every now and then, maybe about 2-3 times a day, at night, especially at night. There are about 3 or 4 incidents been happening in this market. Young girls have been raped. What about 3 incidents? We have witnessed 3 incidents in here.
We take about, on average, 2 to 3 reports a day, fresh reports every day of sexual violence.
One night I walked into the market. Our market, we have 24 hours market. I walked into this market and there was this young boy and young girl, they were having their honeymoon lava. All of a sudden this woman stepped by. The boyfriend stepped by. He turns around and bang. He's finished. They grab his girl and they don't go far. What am I going to do? You see this happening right in our market.
I appreciate that our market goes until 12 o'clock midnight, but there is fear. If we are not very careful, that people will be killed here as well.
The situation of violence in PNG has reached epidemic proportions. It is therefore in our interest to address these problems through our partnership with the government of Papua New Guinea and with other stakeholders, and that is core business for the United Nations and for UN Women. Safer Cities Market project is directing the market vendors and the users of the markets to understand the basis of human rights, and at that level understanding that people should be free and can be free and enjoy their lives and work in the freedom as any citizen would expect.
The challenges for this project are enormous, as we have to address violence on many ends, not just violence against women, but the general problem of violence in Papua New Guinea.
The role of UN Women in this project is to coordinate and facilitate a response to the violence in the markets.
The potential of this project making the markets become the most safer place within the next 5 years is my dream. Market will eventually be the most safest place for the people to go, even tourists and other people coming in from other provinces internally, or tourists from the international community who come in would also feel safe to go into the market.
The big goal is, let's make our cities safer, and let's make the markets in particular much safer so that people get a fair go and have a chance to live their lives and to be free to engage in enterprise and go and do your shopping. It's as easy as that.
Suppose come do me think seriously developing Moresby in Papua New Guinea, how much to look at leads me. Suppose leads to take part now, involve also the programs, not only implementing, and Martin Baga changes into the community.
Them two youth too, the man too, but who plan on Brian now. Only some school training so that you can go on, be part of it now. You can sit down with the team. There ain't money that I buy better bananas, so I stop good.
I'd really like to see the men and the boys see women not just as objects, I should say, but as human beings that deserve the respect.
Mila was a mama mas market, Mila got free. No was pagman, no had marijuana, no was still land back amselo, inform market lo here. And me Mila got about cover and look at him.
Me like him, so must no trouble, no got TV, must not blame me, blame must round free, market blame must free, blame must round.
Me like live a free or free violence one name about right.
The end result is that we should build a better and a safe market for our women and our people.
It is everybody's job to make this city safe.
Let's keep this city a safer city.
Change the mindset of our people.
And live a life free of violence.
We will hurt in Papua New Guinea, not just our city, but our whole country.
Stop violence against women.
Safe city.
Safe city.